I think I'm free to talk about this topic in details and see how you can, some of the stuff that you can expect, some of the challenges that you can expect with your partner, and how to have like a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage as a filmmaker. Right, so that's what we're going to be discussing today. So wherever you're watching me from, if you have any questions in videography, I'll be answering those questions throughout the live stream. And if you have any questions that is relating to this topic, you can also ask. And yeah, today's live stream, I don't really advise you that you should watch with your partners because it's strictly filmmakers. Okay, so let me just greet, as you people are sharing and joining this live stream, let me just greet some people here. Let me know where you are watching me from as well so that I can greet you. I have a lot of filmmakers around Africa. It's amazing. It's amazing. I think I'm one of the most filmmakers really that have touched the whole Africa and beyond. You know, I always have like a lot of people watching from different parts of the world. I was shocked. Someone actually was watching from Japan. You know, I always have people watching from Bangladesh, from Korea and stuff like that, but Japan, that was new. So let me know where you are watching this live from before we get into the topic. And if you have any questions with regards to this topic, let me know as well. Don't forget to share the stream. Filmmakers, let's learn to support each other. You know, if we don't support each other as filmmakers, people actually don't really take filmmaking as seriously. I can see Mr. Xmax Desport. Greetings. I've been watching your videos on YouTube, so I was wondering if you can shoot a movie with a Nikon B500. Thank you so much, sir. Wales Estate, Port Elizabeth, South Africa. Thank you so much for joining, Mr. Xmax. I think there's a lot of people who have shot really great movies with old camera like 5D, you know, Canon 5D and stuff. So really what sells your movie, quality adds, right? The specs of the camera might add in terms of how you want to narrate the story, but what really matters is your story and your creative approach to your story, you know. So I believe it can actually really do a great job. So Mr. Aaron is watching from Cape Town. Shout out, Mr. Aaron. I can see Mr. Dao. Hi, my teacher. Long time. Happy New Year. Thank you so much. Happy 2025 to you as well, Mr. Dao. General, let me know where you are watching me from. That is Facebook. Let's see if we have people on YouTube that are watching. I can see Felicia. Felicite, biggest fan. This is Felicite watching all the way from DRC, Congo. Thank you so much, Congo. I pray for Congo. I heard there's a lot of unrest going on there with the M23, so I'm just praying that you guys there, especially all the filmmakers and everybody that is being affected by these misunderstandings, I pray that God should preserve you. Thank you so much for joining this live. This is Abby Uso. This is Abby Uso Photography watching from Kakuma, Kenya. Thank you so much all the way from Kenya. Thank you so much for joining the live. I can see Mr. Fire Family Production Media Films watching all the way from South Africa. Thank you, Fire Family, for joining the stream. Help me by sharing the stream. Let's see if we have some people watching on TikTok as well. Let me know as well if sound and everything else is fine. Here on TikTok, we've got so many people joining on TikTok. I think I should focus more on TikTok because I have a lot of followers on TikTok. All right. This is Mr. GDO. Please, when are you coming to Cape Town? Thank you so much. I was supposed to be in Cape Town, I think next week. If I'm coming to Cape Town, I'll make sure I hit you up, my brother. And Butterfly is watching from Cape Town as well. Thank you for joining, Mr. Butterfly. Let's see if you have any questions relating to videography as well as the topic in question for today. This is Key. Mr. KE is watching as well. He said, bro, where are you from? I'm a videographer, but you really inspire me so much. I'm from Kenya. Currently, to be honest, if you ask me where are you from, let me just say I am an African because I live in I live country to country, but mostly I do my live streams when I am in South Africa. But next month, that is March, I'll be in Nigeria. Maybe I'll be there for 2-3 months, depending on how long the visa is going to be. But I have a lot of projects to do there. I've got a couple of videos to shoot there in Nigeria. So if you are watching from Nigeria, shout out to you. I hope we meet. Yeah, so basically, mostly I'm in South Africa. I can see Kelani is watching. Ank, good evening, leader. Good evening to you too as well. Please, as you are greeting, please help me to share the stream. Watching from Johannesburg. Thank you, Mr. Kelani. Let's see if we have any question. Mr. Shortit, Jeff Shortit, is Canon 6D playing good for videography? It's really good. I've slightly forgotten the specs, but if it can shoot HD video at 60 frames per second, you know, if in videography, if you are starting videography this year in 2025, any camera, if you have a camera that can shoot 1080p at 60 frames per second, trust me, you will do most of the jobs really good. You know, it's not really mostly about the camera, it's about the lens, it's about the lighting, it's about the story, it's about the location, it's about the costume, it's about the preparation. That's what makes a video really come out good, not really necessarily the camera. For me, actually, I don't really care much about camera bodies. If anything that is related to camera, the things that I care much is lenses. Right, there are lenses that I've been using for 5 years, like the Sigma 18-35 f1.8, and you know, a whole couple of Shin lenses and Canon, what you call it, Rokinon lenses. All right, all right, topo photography. Topo photography says Bang Bisa. Oh, okay, this is their language. I'm sorry, I can't read your language, but. He says, I come from Indonesia. Thank you so much, Indonesia, for joining. All right, so let's get into the topic. Let me just double check if we have new comments on Facebook. All right, Mr. Baraka says, would you advise me to shoot using Canon R100 compared to 250D? I prefer the Canon 250D. I've been using the Canon 250D. I have recommended Canon 250D to so many videographers. It can shoot in 4K. It has got a clean HDMI. I think it's a really semi-professional camera, so I really prefer the 250D because you can actually do, it has got some good video features as well as you can do good photography with it. Mr. Daniel says, hey bro, watching in Mexico City. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel, for joining. Nigeria, we can't wait to have you, sir. Thank you so much. This is Zuri Shaddai Amos. Is a 7D good for videography? It's good, but it shoots 7K. It shoots HD. I'm not sure if it can shoot to up to 50 frames per second. I don't really think so, but if you are shooting programs like that doesn't really need slow motion, I think it's really good. Let's go. Watching from Midrand, that is Fidel. Thank you for joining. Watching from South Africa. Thank you. When are you in Cape Town, and how long are you staying? Usually between a week and some days. I'll let you know. Watching you from Zambia, my home country. This is Mr. Mwene, World Music. Thank you so much for joining. Where do you get presets and loots? I create them. You know, I have a package of loots and presets that I created. Most of this stuff, you can find them on my website, ufc.unifyinventive.net. So, and the other loots, I bought them. You know, when I was starting, trying to understand loots and trying to really find some cinematic loots and stuff, you know, I bought them, and all those loots that I bought, I'm giving them for free to people who are enrolled in color grading videos and stuff like that. So when you enroll in my color grading course, you get all the loots, over 3,000 loots that you get along with that course. But mostly the loots that I create, the loots that I use specifically in my videos, I create them. Because sometimes when I'm doing color grading, I like the color grading, then I'll create a loot preset and save it. Then maybe next time when I'm shooting a video, I can use it. Where do you get presets? I answered that one. Watching you from Zambia, this is Rare Magic Photography. Watching you from Zambia, sound is loud and clear. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Watching from Namibia, thank you everybody who is joining. So let's start. Let's start with today's topic, which is a little bit tricky to teach. Right, so if you are into videography, you're gonna really have, if you are into videography or photography, you're gonna actually meet a lot of challenges, not just from your partner, but the society itself. You know, I worked in the church from 2010 to 2017. I was just doing church videography. You know, I worked with so many prominent pastors and prophets like Bushiri, Uber Angel, you can name them. I worked for that long in the church. So I enjoy serving God. In fact, I'm a pastor. For some of you who doesn't know, maybe you might even get shocked. I'm a pastor. But then my belief with the current standard belief of how things are happening in the church, kind of like, man, I think we're having a crash of belief, but that is not the whole issue. I worked in a church for a long time. So when I branched off, this is also for some of you who do church media and stuff like that. So when I had served in long enough, I was looking, man, I enjoy serving God, but at some point I have children that I'll need to feed. All this time that I was working in the church, I was not getting paid. Actually, I started getting paid. It was not even like a payment. It was just really like a commission. So all the time that I was doing church media from 2010 to somewhere 2015 when I came to South Africa to join Prophet Bushiri, that's when I started getting like a commission. So I wasn't really like getting paid. It wasn't really like you are on a payroll or, you know, I was serving, I was a son in the church. So when I started to think, oh, okay, I know serving God is good, you know, it's really good. But at the same time, I'll need to make money for my family. And, Prophet Bushiri really made me busy. We were traveling around the world like crazy. I never had time to do anything, right? So I was like, no, let me branch off and start doing my own things and pursue my career because this is what I've been wanting to do, right? So when I started doing my career on the side, a lot of people knew me as a church guy, you know, very humble person, as you can see. And that already started creating some sort of, man, this guy was so committed in church is the one who is found with half-naked girls and half-naked, you know, there's always this stereotype when you are a photographer or a videographer. And honestly, most people actually think if you are a videographer or photographer, it's somehow you like girls, you like to sleep with these girls and stuff like that. That's a stereotype. And if you are in Africa, that creates a lot of problems, especially if you are married or you have a relationship. You know, girls don't like it when you post another beautiful girl on your status. You're not posting her to show that she's beautiful, but for me, I post because I have to keep people updated on so many things. You know, I'll take pictures of men and women that are on set, and sometimes I'll post it as a group. So where it contains women, especially those ones that really have good looks, you know, it starts to sort of like create problems, not only with my former spouse, but with everybody. You know, they actually really think that we enjoy it. We like girls, you know, we sleep around with these girls and stuff. To be honest, there is some truth to that, especially to the people who are starting in the industry. I've never really had a problem with working with female clients, models and stuff, because I had been in the church for a long time, and I've always known it is not right. You have to be committed to one person and stuff like that. So when I started working outside the church, I never really had a problem with losing focus because you have really like these nice models on set and stuff like that, you know. And I think what helped me a lot is I was so damn serious about really trying to make my career work. I was really trying to set some standards. So when I was on set, my focus was really the whatever that I was filming, whether it's a music video, whether it's a wedding video. I would never take pictures. I'll never I'll never take numbers of girls and stuff like that. I've never done that. I'm not really a person who is so much into women. I think I disciplined myself far enough from when I was in high school. I'm a person who works in a sequential sort of, in a sequence. You know, I don't work in parallel where you do something this side at the same time you're doing this. You know, I like to work things step by step. So if I've gone for a shoot, it is the shoot that I'm focused on, right? But you don't just go there really like seriously and stuff like that. And that I had a problem with it as well, because I never really used to smile too much on set. You know, I'll go there like really serious, set up my camera. Hi, Mr. Camera guy, hi. You know, that type of stuff. And people never really like to enjoy working with me. And thank God I found one man who is sort of like a business lawyer and stuff like that. He will get projects for me, and then we'll sign a contract. Once I win, he will like organize tenders on my behalf, you know. Say, Pedro, I think a lot of people like your videography stuff and they're interested. Can we partner together? So that man became almost like my mentor, you know, especially when it comes to business, especially when it comes to my relationship with clients and the public and the fans and stuff like that. So he actually told me, say, Pedro, do you realize that you don't smile much and yet you are into entertainment industry? So I was like, man, but I've gone there to shoot and stuff. And then he's like, no, you know, I've never really done videography, but I've been on your set twice, 3 times. You never really smile. You know, people really like to have conversations with you, but you never really like, you never give them a chance and stuff like that. Then I started to really learn to be social. When I'm on set, you know, laughing with everybody because I'm there to do the work, you know, and stuff like that. Because my reasoning was, you know what, some of these girls, especially female clients, you might be laughing with them. Next thing you hear, oh, Pedro actually was hitting on me. I wanted to take my number and stuff like that. So I was doing everything to prevent those kind of stuff. By the way, that time when these things were happening, I never really even had a girlfriend. Never. So that's what happened, you know. So it is also the relationship that you have with people on set and stuff like that. So people have really this big misconception about videographers and photographers alike. You know, they think we are smashing these ladies, and which is not true for most people. There's some truth to it, especially for the people who are starting in the industry, and they get so excited about it, you know. I've done even nude photography before. I've never really had a problem. I've done like a lot of photography gigs. I've done a lot of music videos that are really explicit and stuff like that. So some filmmakers or photographers will really get excited and, you know, lose focus and stuff. But maybe you are not as busy as some of us. And the responsibility that falls on some of us is unmatched, because people who book me currently are people who actually put in a lot of money in their projects. So as a person who gets really good paid for that project, you don't want to make mistakes. The gear that I use, it's a heavy gear, lots of moving parts. You know, you have to adjust. Mostly, I control the whole rig myself because I like to be autonomous. You know, sometimes I can get a focus puller and someone to hold the light, but I don't really like to work like that because my style of videography is movement. So I like to have control over everything, whether it's focus, whether it's iris, whether it's whatever. So there is a lot of focus that just really goes into these things, how I compose my videos, what kind of movement, that even if a naked girl was in front of the camera, I would not see them. You know, I'll see that they are there, but it will not be there. So if for professionals, I don't really think it's a problem. You know, I've never really seen professionals in my circle that have got problems with girls. You know, I've seen 1 or 2, mostly some artists have got problems with girls, you know, they like to take girls, female clients, hook with them up. But with videographers, I've never really seen, I've been behind the scenes of other videographers. You have no idea how much stressful filmmaking is, especially in today's era, because there's so many people doing the same things. You really want to focus and make something good and stuff like that. So you really can't pay attention to women. That is the misconception that people have, actually. You know, they think that all videographers, they do these things. So if you are an aspiring videographer and you are into a relationship currently, I want to give you some advice. It's not too late. I think if you really want to have a smooth sailing in this career with your family, that is, if you have children, you have a wife, you have a girlfriend, if you already have one now as you're watching this video, find time to sit down with them. Try to make them understand exactly, because for you to sell in this era, for you to push your work in this era, you actually have to go out of your way a little. You know, you have to join the trends. You need to look at things that are trending. You can't say, man, things that are trending now, the way people create their music videos, I think they are using so many naked girls and stuff like that. But if that is what the song is talking about, what can you do? You need to get a half-naked girl and put her there to sell their music that they're trying to produce, you know. And you need to sit with your partner and make sure you try to make them understand that in this career, I'm going to always be found around women. It's not like I'm sleeping around with those women. It's not like if your partner doesn't trust you, then if you have done things in the past that makes your partner not to trust you, then good luck, my brother. But make sure you don't really give your partner a mind that you could be cheating when you are on set. Maybe you could be doing some other stuff. You explain to them what is involved. If there's a trend that is coming in, there's a way, you know, things in media change drastically. I spoke about this thing last year. Things in media change a lot. You know, the way people used to do things back in 2015 is different. Things that are trending currently is different from what was trending 15 years ago. You know, have time with your partner, show them what other filmmakers are doing. If anything, just show them my page, because for me, there is no question. When it comes to work, it's work. Even my previous relationships will be complaining, hey, the girl that you posted today, hey, she's too embarrassing. You know, how will people look at me and stuff like that? I say, hey, whatever people will look at, it's none of my business, because this is my career. This is what I need to do to take this career. Whatever that creates eyeballs, you know. Sometimes I can be doing a video and I'll take a lot of behind the scenes, right? I'll tell you, I'll give you an example of how I post my stuff, so that at least your wife should be, or your partner should not be really giving you problems, right? There are times whereby I'm taking a lot of BTS, men and women, they are there, and I'll post them as a group. Some of you who know me, who follow me from Facebook, YouTube, or wherever, you know I post, if I'm going to shoot a video and that video is out, I'll go through the gallery for the person who was doing behind the scenes. Everything that looked good, I'll post it at once. Whether it's 30 pictures, I'll post everything at once, right? So if you don't make your spouse understand, they're going to give you a hell of a problem. I'm going to discuss quite a lot of stuff. You know, there's a lot of problems that comes from our partners, especially when it comes to buying equipment. You know, mostly every person who is in filmmaking now, there's a probability, there's a 95% probability that the reason why they didn't buy the kind of equipment they need, it's because of their wife. You know, partners in Africa, they don't really support their filmmaking husbands and boyfriends because they think it's a waste of money. I have done, not only just really like us regular people, like I've been selling cameras to so many men of God. You know, when a man of God is trying to buy a camera, I don't know what story I'm going to start with my wife. So me, I wonder, like, why doesn't your wife know that you need these cameras so that you can have a social media presence on social media and preaching those? They don't know, say, it's different. You know, our wives always think this is a waste of time. And that is what has made a lot of filmmakers not to invest enough in their careers. And, you know, this career, some of us, you know, me, I tick so many boxes, and people wonder, why is Pedro so busy? Why does he get so many clients? Number one, I'm good at what I do. I took my time, mastered the career. I know so many stuff in this video, not because I know everything, but I know a lot. Number two, on top of just really having good skills and experience, I've been filming, guys, since 2006 on my father's handycam with those VCR. 2010, that's when we migrated to those handycams and stuff. Somewhere 2012, that's when first time I used a DSLR camera, the 7D. 2015, that's when I bought 5D Mark, Canon 70D, and then 5D Mark III, 5D Mark IV, then GH4, then GH5, and then a couple of cinema cameras like the Blackmagic ESA Mini, Blackmagic production cameras and stuff like that, you know. So if you can spend all the time to gain the whole experience, to gain the whole skill, but if you cannot invest in your equipment, invest in your career, like getting good equipment, man, people, they don't, most people that, especially those ones who doesn't have budget, other people like some of the big artists that I film with, you know, sometimes it's rare that I use my cameras, you know, even though I had Red Raven, Red Scarlet W, sometimes I would really need a specialized camera, and I'll go and hire that camera, and the client will not have a problem. But there are other clients that actually really want you to have everything already, so that they should not spend extra monies to go and hire such kind of the other stuff. So if you are a filmmaker and you cannot invest, a lot of filmmakers don't invest because their wives are a big problem. Not in a bad way, but they always feel like when, as a husband, you are trying to buy a camera, it's a waste of time, because this camera gear, guys, it's really expensive. You see this V-Lock battery. It's just something very small like this, and it will cost 6,000. Now, if your wife, just a battery, 6,000, are we buying a battery for the car? Even our battery for the car doesn't cost 6,000, but a small battery like that is costing 6,000. You have to convince and convince and convince. So if you have time to sit with your spouse, with whoever you are with, to say, you know what, my wife, you know what, my girlfriend, for me to actually have a chance in this career, I need to invest heavily. You know, there's one pastor, when I was staying in Potchefstroom, he used to buy a lot of cameras. He had this problem. He said, Ish, Mr. Pedro, I want to come with my wife so that at least she can hear from your mouth, because you see this GH5 that I'm buying, it's 15,000. She's saying, if you can buy if you can buy a camera 15,000 and is second hand, a new it's 30,000. She's telling me that, why can't we just add 20,000, then we get another car, you know? So there was a time this man of God wants to buy my car. The time that he wanted to buy my car, there was nothing like come and convince my wife, come and talk to my wife, or let me put you on loud so that my wife can hear. Nothing. He was like, Mr. Pedro, so how much is your car? I need to buy it. You know, I have one car and I need to buy it. So I'm like, maybe go and talk to your wife. He said, no, it's not a problem with my wife. It's not a problem. But when it comes to cameras, it's always a struggle. So even most filmmakers alike, especially those who are married, film gear, guys, is expensive. You see, this microphone I'm using here costs, like, I paid 7,000 for this microphone, right? It's a very tiny thing. So if you have to convince your partner that you really need that thing for good sound, she will not see the need. So you have to actually really sincerely take her out. You know me, the strategy that I was using to buy this equipment, when I know that there's a big project that is coming and I'm gonna need to buy a certain piece of gear, because the stuff that I use costs hundreds of rands, thousands of rands, you know? If I knew that the program is coming, the project is coming that is gonna pay, And I'm one person who likes, whenever I get paid for a gig, if it's 100,000 gig, it is without question that 60,000 of that money will go back to the studio. I'll find a way of putting that money inside the studio. So my partner didn't really catch this thing. You know, I'll always come with an excuse to get something, you see, so that that money stays in the studio. Because if I remain with some change, we can use that change to, you know, go by. If we want to get a car, we can wait for some time and we get a car and stuff like that. So the strategy that I was using was, if I know that there's a project that is coming and I'm gonna need to buy, let's say, a slider, you know, and that slider costs 42,000. How do I convince her that I need this? I'll take her out, you know, sometimes to a restaurant. Sometimes if I want to buy something big, vacation, we go to a vacation. There I'll say, okay, at least you have come for a vacation, so next I want to buy a camera. That time she would not say a lot. But it doesn't have to be like that, because I never really took time to make her understand of so many things that needs to be done in order for this career to move. You know, there's a lot of hard work for videography to work. For you to stand a chance, it's a lot of hard work. Right, so, and if I'm talking to the people who are married, and if you are asking me to say, okay, so what do I do? Should I get married or should I wait and work in my career? The best advice that I can give to people, especially young people, I think rushing to get married is a dead end. It's a bad, bad idea. Like, there isn't really a prize for a man rushing to get married, because a lot of really guys who have got good skills and stuff, they destroyed their skills because they rushed for the responsibility that they rushed for. I really don't, I didn't really get it, you know, I really didn't get it. I never really dated when I was in high school. I never really had a lot of like this relationship stuff and the like, you know. The reason being is, like, what is the rush? But if you have a problem where you have really like high sexual drive, it's better you get one partner and committed to them, right? If you love to sleep around and stuff like that, get a partner. But rushing into getting married is the no-go zone. You have to work. It doesn't matter whether you're a filmmaker or you are in whatever career, but as a man, there's always a really huge responsibility. I don't think starting to get married, it's a better choice. There isn't any price. Most men that are married today, most of them, it's not just me who is saying, you know, I shoot a lot of documentaries and stuff like that. I've learned a lot of men, over 80%, they're not happy, but they are there, committed. They're not happy. So why should you rush to get married? So if you are into videography, you are still young, you want this career to work, I'll advise you, get a girlfriend, but don't really get into marriage and stuff like that. Marry when things are okay, you have some other source of income and stuff like that. Right. So, but for those ones that are already married, sit down with your partners, make them understand that you need equipment for these things to go forward. Most people hire me because I already have like industry standard equipment, you know, and I invest heavily, you know, things like a car, things like a house, things like, those are not the stuff that I rush to, because those things, they don't make money. Those things, they actually take away money. But if you get a camera, and I don't understand, you know, you get a girlfriend, you're asking a girlfriend out, you introduce yourself, my name is San Pedro, I'm a filmmaker, you show them the kind of work that you are doing, and she says yes. And then after that, she starts to behave as if filmmaking is not really like the ideal. But why did you marry a filmmaker, like really? Like even some of the guys, you know, like you go to a club, you find a stripper, you like the stripper, you propose the stripper, and then next thing the stripper is in the club doing her stripping thing. Then you have to complain like, I don't like the work that you are doing. But you find that person doing that shit. Why did you go to the reverend's daughter? You know. So that's it. Let's see. Before I get to the next topic, before I get to the next subtopic, maybe the end. You know, like what to post and what to say. and how to sell yourself as a videographer and stuff like that. Let me just take some time and answer some of the questions and hear what you guys are saying. You know, if you have had some of these problems and you are married, just let me, just if you are a professional videographer and you have had some of these problems in your relationships and stuff, leave them there and run away, because if your wife was seeing that you were watching this video, I knew it. I knew it. I'm not going to mention that. Mr. Rocky Foundation Music says, thank you, Mr. Pedro, for your life. You are just speaking to me directly. I know a lot of filmmakers are passing through this. That's why I'm the only filmmaker who has got the courage, because I don't have scars, you know. I've worked with so many models. I don't even have a single drama that Pedro was involved with this model and stuff like that, you know. So I'm going to talk a little bit in terms of how you speak to your female clients, especially, you know, for people like us who they'll give you a music video, then you have to look for models, you know. You can't just really like, you want to work with this person, then you are all serious as if she's not important. No, there's a way that you talk to them, and somehow your wife might misunderstand what are you trying to do. Why are you trying to make this girl comfortable? You know, and stuff like that. And they will never understand. I don't know. They will never understand. These Wakanda women, you just leave everything in the hands of God. Let's read comments. Okay, Mr. Jeff Shortit says, can you use 90D with 35mm f1.4 to produce good videos? I think 90D is a beautiful camera, dual autofocus system, really nice camera. I've used 90D to shoot one Nigerian gospel guy. What is his name? Martin PK. You know, there's one video that I once shot for Martin PK using Canon 90D, and I was not even using this fast lens. You know, I was using this 24 to 70mm f2.8. This is a 35mm, and 35mm is actually my sweet spot when it comes for the lenses. You know, it's a little bit wider and it's a little bit tighter, so you can sort of like do some, you know, medium wide shots as well as some medium telephoto, some medium portrait shots. It's a sweet spot, so that is a really good combo. Mr. Rabelani John Mundai says, thank you, Mr. Thank you so much. This is comments coming from TikTok. Mr. Swane Appliances says, very true. They think that when you are in media, you are a womanizer, and it's hard when you are in a relationship. Too much. No, it's not all the ladies that have got this problem. It's Wakanda ladies. You know, we were brought up with a certain cultural stuff, and for somehow technology is somehow overlapping certain cultural norms and stuff like that. And it's not like these women of ours also, they are not adapting to the change of modernization. They put nails, they put makeup and stuff like that. It means they are also changing to the modernization of the culture. But if it is a filmmaker who is doing the modern way of doing filmmaking, then it becomes a problem. Like, oh no, culturally this doesn't look proper. You know, some of this stuff that you post on social media, I have my families there. They are seeing, so that, oh, our daughter is married to this kind of a guy. Like, what is the problem with that? When you spoke to your family about, oh, I'm gonna get married to this guy called Mr. Swane, you didn't tell them what he does. So you mean your family don't understand this kind of stuff? You know, you are the one who's supposed to stand in for your husband to say, no, actually, this is what happened. And, you know, the crazy part is a lot of celebrities and a lot of these other people, you know, they actually really present themselves on social media in the way that they can sell. It doesn't really matter. I've seen a lot of socialites that have got a lot of millions of followers. All they do is just post their naked pictures. Those people have got real family, real husbands, real children, but they actually really know what sells. So if you don't jump into the trend of what sells when you are on social media, there is no way that you are going to make it. Don't blame your skill. Don't blame that you. Don't blame anything. Just blame your cultural belief. All right, let's go through the comments. Let's see what people from YouTube are saying. Okay, where's the comments? How long did it take to at this level? I would love to work with you in future. This is Mr. Gura's channel. Oh, okay, this is Gura's channel. Say, how long did it take to, maybe he wanted to say to reach at this level? I would love to work with you in future. You are an inspiration to me. Thank you so much, Mr. Guru. Oh, Guru's channel. Thank you so much. Guys, make sure you like the stream. Thank you. Remind them. And as filmmakers, we actually don't support each other. You know, we don't support each other. We don't like sharing. But if it was something that has to do with a half-naked girl, spend a whole minute looking at a picture like this. What are you busy with? There's nothing. You're just looking at a picture. But if it's something that has to do with his skill and stuff like, this guy talks too much. Good evening, sir. Please, how can one color grade black skin? I have a lot of video tutorials on my YouTube channel. In fact, this one I'm going to take it. I'm going to own it. A lot of beginner colorists in Africa, they learned color grading from my YouTube. I get a lot of messages. You know, so I have got like a few color grading tutorials that are really so deep. And you know, one day in my course, there's one course where I spoke about if you really want to learn videography from other filmmakers and the like, don't really learn videography from people who are in another location. You know, we can have fans. We can have inspirations of other videographers who are making videos in America, in Australia, but mostly those people, they work with light skin. To color grade light skin is the easiest. A black skin, West have shot videos where an artist who is dark in complexion has featured a white person and they are together in one frame, and you have to color grade it for both of them to look good. It's not easy. So you can only really get real tips and real tutorials from a person who is somewhat in the same geographical position where you are in. So if you really want to learn color grading, I have a few free videos, detailed videos, about 10 videos with regards to color grading on my YouTube channel. But if you really want to actually really become a professional, I have a full course on my channel, on my website, Color Grading Pro, that is just dedicated to color grading, where I color grade. In that course, you'll find topics like how to color grade an African look, how to color grade different types of races, colors, black people, white people, everything you're gonna find there. It's just $55. 1 week, you should be able to have like really good basics. Another 2 weeks of practice, you should be able to color grade professionally and make videos that look good. Your colors need to have consistency. Your colors need to actually send a message, because the way you color a video, it adds or breaks your story. You know, color grading is actually the creative look that you add to your video to support the mood of the story and stuff like that. So if you're not really good at color grading, it's going to be a problem. Your videos will not stand out. You know, I've seen people who actually color grade wedding videos as if it was a cinematic film or stuff like that. There are a few things, you know, it's not all the videos really need color grading. Like for me, things that have to do, there's a tutorial about color grading, how to color grade a wedding. I make sure everything just really look natural, really as natural as possible, because I'm a storyteller and I want to present my films to speak to the audience. There is no way that I'll color grade a wedding to look like a blockbuster movie. You know, it defeats the essence of the texture of the storyline itself. This was marriage. You know, things have to look bright and smooth and natural. There's a way that I color grade my videos in different categories. Even the way I color grade my videos when it comes to music videos or corporate videos, there's always a theme that I follow, and that theme always starts at the beginning of my project. All right. House of Kings Ministries International, what is the recommended stream rate on YouTube, or what stream rate are you seeing? There is no lagging. All right, so I have a course, full course, the longest course that I've created is live streaming. So in the course, there's a part where I'm talking about before you live stream, you have to check the upload speed and download speed of your internet. And then you need to know the 50% headroom rule. So if your upload speed is 10 megabits per second, you need to make sure that, by the way, I'm streaming to TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube at the same time. And the host, across all my platforms, the stream looks the same. There's no stream which is lagging. So let's say, for example, your upload speed is 10 megabits per second. You need to use a 50% headroom rule, whereby if you are going to live stream to Facebook, YouTube, and let's say 3 platforms, 50% headroom rule is you have to make sure that you upload your stream, the stream rate, you upload it at 5 megabits per second. Just because you have 10 megabits per second upload speed, it doesn't mean that that is how you need to set your stream. Because if anything happens to your internet, maybe it drops to 9, then your stream will start lagging. But if you leave a 50% headroom, like you keep your stream under 5 megabits per second, if it is 10 megabits per second, then even if something happens to your 10 megabits upload speed, maybe it comes to 8, your stream will still be running smoothly because you are uploading at 5 megabits per second. So if you are uploading 3 streams, it means that 5 megabits per second, you have to share it across 3 streams, right? My software of choice when I'm doing live streaming is vMix. So with vMix, you can upload, you can live stream to 3 platforms at once, and you can share each stream. Like if I'm trying to use that headroom, that 50% headroom rule, and my upload speed is 10 megabits per second, it means each and every stream that I'm uploading, it has to go at 1.5 megabits per second. And if I add all the streams, it's going to be 4.5 megabits per second, which is just below the headroom rule. That way, I'm guaranteed that I can do the whole stream without really worrying that if internet drops, I'm going to be affected, my streams will be affected. And also, your upload resolution. Right now, I am uploading at, mostly I don't upload anything 4K, I'm uploading at 1080p, but mostly I upload my videos at 1280p. Now I'm in my office has got pretty fast internet, so I'm not worried when it comes to the internet. But if I'm in a place where the internet is not good, make sure as you are setting your upload speed, you also set your resolution. Because if you are going to set 1.5 megabits per second and you are uploading at 1080p, your video is going to look muddy because the bit depth at which you are uploading is too little to support 1080p, right? So if I'm uploading a stream at 1.5 megabits per second, then I'll reduce the upload resolution maybe to half HD, to actually quarter HD, like 640 by 480. The stream will come to the viewers very clean, because the 1.5 megabits is very technical. Let me not get there, but you'll find everything in the course explained with illustrations practically and stuff like that. All right, guys, make sure you like the stream. Thank you so much for the people that are really trying to push the stream. And let's go to TikTok and see if we have some questions there. All right, it seems we don't have many questions here. Okay, it's just people saying, I'm watching Mr. Sifiso, watching from South Africa. Good evening, Mr. Sifiso. All right, so if you have any questions in videography and stuff like that, you can be asking as I conclude my story today to help you actually have a good time for your family and to make sure that everybody is happy and stuff like that. All right, so let's come to posting, If you go to any photographer, real photographers, professional photographers, if you go to their page, all you see there, it is their work, right? It doesn't matter whether it's female models, it's male models, it is their work. Constantly posting what you do is what is going to make you get clients. People look in my social media. Let me show you how my social media looks. Let me actually just go to Facebook, just see what I post. Okay, currently I am live, but if I can show you all my pictures, it's everything that has to do with my career. I've posted quite a few of models there. For me, if it is behind the scenes, I just post. It doesn't matter whether at that point, if I have a partner, they'll be angry, like you can't present like these naked girls. This is my work. This is how people, and mostly you see like some of these kind of posts, people be like, why are you posting naked girls? Is this girl naked? This is a swimming costume. If you go to the beach, you'll find the pastor's wife is wearing like this. People don't have a problem with it. But if it is a filmmaker was posted, like, oh, it seems these people, they are not okay. So I post things like this. And if you go through my social media, if you see me with a lady, this is how I post. If you ever see me with a lady on my post, on my social media, just know there's a camera there. I was doing work. I don't take pictures with girls anyhow. Even I have female fans. This thing is gonna close for me. I have female fans that when they see me, like, oh, that is San Pedro. Can I have a picture and stuff like that? I'm never comfortable to take pictures with girls when I'm not working, because you never know what story is gonna start running. So if you go through my social media, anywhere that you're going to see a lady, it's behind the scenes, right? So I post a lot things like this. Things like this, I post things that has to do with cameras and stuff like that. And my social media is mainly videography. You'll never see a lot. You just find maybe once in a while I've posted a picture of something, but everything about my social media has to do with videography. So that at least if a client has been recommended, oh, there's a guy called Pedro, he does good work, maybe check him out. The first place they rush to is to go and check your social media. And if they go on your social media, today you post about your work, then tomorrow you are posting how much you enjoyed in the pub and stuff like that. You are giving clients some sort of mixed evaluation of yourself. You are sort of trying to tell them that you are not really that serious. That's why all my pages is strictly dedicated to what I do, right? Because that's what makes me. Anything that is private here and there, especially when I have a partner, I always post my partner here and there, but everything, it is work. And I post everything. I don't post just because, oh, maybe the lady, my wife is gonna think somehow. Because number one, I am innocent. If you are innocent, you don't have to be guilty. You know, there are certain pictures that I post that tell a story about that video. Some of these pictures are so dear to my heart, you know, very dear to my heart. And that is how I post, right? So if you are trying to sell yourself on social media, in fact, if you are a videographer, I don't know, if you are a startup videographer, in my class, Videography Business Pro, I have taught a lot how to market yourself as a videographer, and having a strong social media presence is one of the biggest way you can market your skills, you can market your videography career and stuff, and you can market yourself. So don't shy away from things that are trending at that particular time that can make your career to move. You know, if you are a cheater, you are a cheater. Whether you post girls or not, you are a cheater. But if you are not a cheater, you don't have to feel guilty about anything. You know, I had a lot of this stigmatization. I had pastors calling me, no, you are such an embarrassment. How can you post a girl who is such naked? And mostly, you never see a naked girl. You know, I don't know, maybe some people, it's just lack of exposure. They don't go to the beach. They don't go to the swimming pools. You find the whole family is naked. The whole family, they are in swimming costume. So for me, we post in those, especially for me, when I post, I don't see anything. If something is wrong, like when I used to shoot nudes and stuff like that, I know even Facebook will delete such kind of stuff. I used to shoot nudes for magazines. You shoot a lot of white people, a lot of black people, naked, no underwear, no undergarment, naked, just like the way they were born. You know, I never had a problem with that. If it's work, it's work. You see, so that is the thing. Especially when you are posting, you need to have a social media, and you should not be afraid. If your wife doesn't understand, I don't know. I'm not saying that you should break your marriage. Find a ways to understand, to make her understand. Sometimes when you are going on set, take her with you. Trick her into, oh, baby, I'm shooting today, but after, I want us to go for for dinner or something like that. Trick her into coming with you on set. Let her see how you work. Let her see how you talk to these people. Because for me, if you met me for the first time and I'm doing work, you will see that this guy is serious. You know, I've got girls who later, will confess to say, Ish, Mr. Pedro, I was there on set, but I was just afraid to talk to you because you were so serious and busy and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. I did not come there to look for girls. I went there to work, and that should be the mentality. All right. So make sure you have a strong social media presence, and look into what is trending. Look into what is trending. There's a way that people post their BTS that makes people click on those, have a lot of eyeballs on their videos and stuff like that. Post like that. Go through my social media. See how I post. There is nothing wrong. That is, you should separate your relationship from your career. Just because you are married to a doctor, it doesn't mean that your doctor is seeing patients that are naked every day. It doesn't mean that they are cheating. They are just doing their professional. And mostly, these girls who always complain, if you have a girlfriend who complains about, hey, you are always around the girls, I don't trust you. Those are problematic people. Those are problematic wives. And you know the funny part is, once those people meet their favorite celebrity, you will see how they will take a picture with that celebrity. Like they will hold him, like they will pose in a certain way, like you have never seen such a pose. Like, huh? But for a filmmaker, me, I don't even, no matter how much of a celebrity I'm working with, I'll never take a picture with a lady when I don't have a camera in my hands. All the pictures that you're gonna see me with a girl, there's a camera there. Because I want to sell the fact that I'm working. I'm not here for pleasure. I'm not here to do all those kind of nonsense. It's dead work. When I'm working, my marriage has to wait, because the marriage will not survive without money. If I'm going to work, whatever that I do at work, it has to bring money home. As long as it has got nothing that is going to bring diseases inside the house, it has got nothing that is going to take our money and start giving girls money. And as long as it's not those things that can affect us, as long as it's just work, and somehow maybe that work needs to be like that. You know, for some of us, very delicate situation, you need to have someone who understands exactly what is going on. Because an artist will give me a whole video, Pedro, create a script. In the video, I have an idea of having these girls with big bums, with big chest and stuff like that. I want you to create a script in that line. And since you are a videographer who's been doing this for so long, I'm sure you know where to find the models. Then now we start to communicate with these people. And that's where now the problem comes. Because if you are married to a person who doesn't understand your career, and you didn't make them understand, you see, as a business person, there's a certain humor. And this doesn't just really happen to filmmakers. It happens in all spaces of work. You know, sometimes when I go to the bank, do you know how the bank lady greets me? Especially if I wanted to do something on my account and she has seen there's something fat in there. Like, all right, sir. She'll be smiling and stuff like that. She's doing her job. Do you know what happens when you go to a massage? You know, when you go in, the way those ladies will welcome you. If you have a problem with the girls, you might think, this girl is interested in me. They'll be asking you nice questions. Are you married? Oh, that is nice. They're doing their job. So if a lady who is working in a massage spa, they are posting a picture of them doing their work, that means they are a problem people. Come on, leave filmmakers, give filmmakers a break. Leave filmmakers a break. If your husband is a cheater, they are just cheater. It has got nothing to do with videographers and photographer. They are serious photographers like myself. When I go on set, it's work. Doesn't matter. You know, I've been hit by so many girls. You know, girls try to hit me several times. Several times. You just be shooting. Oh, Pedro, so what are you doing after the shoot? No, after doing the shoot, tomorrow I have another shoot, so I'm just going to go to the hotel. Oh, you're going to the hotel? Why can't you come to my place? Because it's just nearby. Huh? You want to put a rat and a cat, even if nothing happens, what will people say? You know? You have to take it as a professional. I know that videography is not like, especially when you are beginning, it's not really like a professional career. It's not like in an account office where people, hey, madam, in videography we have our complete different languages. You know, when these artists send me the scripts and stuff, we call it this, okay, Pedro, I want you to look for at least 3 babes. You know, that is the language. Okay, bro, can you assist me with at least 5 babes? I need them for the video. You know, it's a slang. You can call them models, you can call them vixens, but when I say babe, it means I want something that is a very explicit for this sort of a video that I'm trying to do. When it's something that is, we have our own language. So if they don't take time to understand the language, why are you calling other girls babe? How do you explain? You know, we have got a lot. We got a lot, but this all has to do with understanding. You know, you need to make sure your woman understands your career. Take them with you twice a month. Trick them into going with you for a shoot. Give them some roles. You know, for me, most of the time when I started working, I don't even like, if you go through my pictures, all of my pictures where I'm standing with a girl, you will never see me a picture where I'm standing with a girl and we are holding like this, whether I'm holding a camera this side. I always keep my hands to myself. I don't even like women touching me. Sometimes I tell girls, hey, don't take, if you want to take a picture, just stand there, let's take a picture properly, you know, because I look cool with my gear. I use like really good gear, so when people are coming, oh, this looks serious, man. They want to take pictures. You know, you have to be humorous enough to welcome them, but you just need to have certain limits. You just need to have certain limits. All right. So that is the language again. It's really a problem because your partner might think you are just being nice to this girl, you know, and the worst part to work with on set is ladies. With guys, it's not a problem. You tell them this, it's going to be a problem. I remember one day I was filming a video then for some artists. Then they brought these girls, a bunch of girls. It was a party video and stuff like that. They brought these girls. And you know, when I'm working, I don't like people who are playing. Like, I can give you time to play before the scene starts, before the set starts. But once I start, there is no jokes in that because that camera is heavy. Someone will be doing their own things and stuff like that. So when I start working, it's like, you come here, or you stand at the back. And then some girls have got audacity to go to the management and say, we don't like the way this guy is calling us. He's calling us you. Don't we have names? I'm like, guys, I don't know you. I'm not even interested to know your names. You know? I'm not even interested to know your name. There's nothing that I'm going to do with your name. So if you are not comfortable with me calling you, there's a lot of people here. I cannot memorize all of them. If you're not comfortable, leave. I can postpone this shoot for tomorrow. And I'm like that. When I'm working, I don't really like people playing around, you know. So there's a language that we speak. And this language brings a lot of problems for people who are married. Sometimes when I'm saying, okay, sometimes on set, sometimes maybe you want to appear like, me, it's rare when I go around and ask, what is your name? What is your name? It's unnecessary, man. I would rather just call a lady, hey, pretty face, come this side. Why do you call another girl pretty face? Like, what's the problem with that? I'm working, man. Oh, pretty, come this side. That's my language. Doesn't mean that I'm liking them. I've seen a lot of girls A lot of beautiful girls around the world. Why would I just like somebody that how many people am I gonna like if I have to question it that way? All right, so just be mindful of your language. The language that you use is slightly different. It's gonna give you problems with your wife, with your spouse. Try to make sure they understand. And that language should always end on set. You know, if for me, who organizes models sometimes, I'll have numbers of all these girls, all of them. I'll have a lot of naked pictures, naked. You know, sometimes when you are doing auditions, you say, okay, each and every girl who is interested, send me at least 3 pictures that shows your full body and stuff like that. They'll be sending, you know, sometimes you're working with 20 models and all of them, they have to send 3 each. You have 60 pictures of explicit in your phone. Then your wife touches your phone and be like, why do you always keep these naked girls in the phone? Come on, I'm not keeping those people, you know. Like for me, I don't even want to have that pressure that, oh, it is wrong for me to keep this. That phone also is part of the work. It's keeping some of those girls, I can even leave them there. Maybe I liked how they were behaving on set. Maybe they are camera ready, they are not camera shy, they have got a good sense of humor, they don't mind about time. When you find somebody that is really good to work with, you keep them. So if your partner asks you, where did you keep this one? Why? Sometimes you can actually keep them, and sometimes you can be on set and they can see, especially in my case, big trouble. They see this guy is not some sort of filmmakers that we are used to. He's a damn serious. This is the real deal. If I need to take my modeling career to the next level, I need to stick to this guy. And they will be innocently ask you for gigs in future. Please, in future, if there's a project, contact me. I really want to work. Some, they come with their own motives. Maybe they just want a way of talking to you. But as a filmmaker, you need to know who is serious and who is not. You know, if you are a girl, we are working, and you are interested in me, the first message that you text me, I'll know this one, she's a promiscuous girl. I don't want to keep her. You know, I know the people who are serious and the people who want to work. There's a language that I'm used to, you know, and stuff like that. So mindful of your language. Your language should always end on set. Your language must always end on set. And if there's some sort of language that spills over, because sometimes you can be editing. And then when you're editing, for some of us who work with people in the, you know, celebrities, you can't just really like edit a video and send it to the artist and stuff like that. Those models, they'll tell you, Ish, I don't like to show my butt too much. After you edit the video, you have to send it to them. They have to go through it. And if they are comfortable with, and you'll be talking to them, and they'll be saying, hey, can you check my bra? Underneath there, I think my breast was not sitting properly. It's not gonna look nice. And then your wife will be finding you talking to a lady. So you are talking about bras. You are talking about breasts with another girl at night. That time is 02. You need to submit the video in the morning. It's crazy. Guys, let's give filmmakers a break, you know? And to be honest, a lot of filmmakers that I met, like I said at the beginning, they are not promiscuous. Like, I have met maybe 1 or 2 people that like girls, but the rest, they might really be friendly with girls. They might be talking to these girls in a way, but they are not like going around and sleeping with those people and stuff like that. Imagine all the way from the shoot with my 500,000 camera. From the shoot, then I want to go to a club, to a club or to a hotel room of $20. Just after the shoot, first thing you go home and pack your stuff. You know, we don't really have that chance at all. There is no chance. If you liked this girl and you want to start talking to her, tomorrow you are going on another set, you'll find another girl who looks better than that one. So it's unnecessary. If you are a filmmaker and you are doing that, your career is not going to go far. You know, you don't mix business and the pleasure. You need to have a discipline when it comes to, you can laugh with those girls however you want, but it needs to have limits. You need to always remind yourself you are into this to make it, and you can't mix business with pleasure. Mr. Barrister Comfort says, I'm so late. Good evening, leadership. Good evening, Mr. Barlister. Mr. Admire Mundo says, how are you, teacher? I'm fine. How are you, sir? Nice to hear you. Today I just have guys today. It's good. Men's conference. It's men's conference. If you have any questions, guys, I'm about to finish the live. Been here for 1 hour. I don't like my lives to go over 1 hour, but for some reason, maybe I talk too much. Maybe I was meant to be a teacher in a high school. Who knows? Mr. Swane Appliance says, marriage, it's a mini prison if you are in filming. It's not a mini prison. Like, that is a big, 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 big prison. Big prison. So if you really want to date proper, at least try to find a lady who is, if you are into filmmaking, don't go and get a girl who has got nothing to do with filmmaking. You know, don't just follow those pretty faces and bums and stuff like that. That's not how people marry, you know. Me, when I'm looking for a partner, I don't look at those things, like how the girl is looking and stuff. No, I look at the heart. I look at her level of intelligence in terms of knowing certain things. In fact, the reason why I haven't really been like so much in problems with girls, like you will never find a scandal, Pedro slept with this girl, Pedro slept with this girl. You'll never find those stuff. You know why? I'm only attracted to the girl sexually through her intelligence. I think there's a name for that. If the girl is pretty, the moment she opens her mouth, she's talking rubbish. It's a 10 off, like a big 10 off for me. And a lot of these girls that slay queens and stuff, in their heads is water, like complete water, you know. So for me, it's really the intelligence of the person. How well do they understand certain things, you know? So when you are selecting a partner, especially if you are a filmmaker, try to explore their interests, you know. If you see that filmmaking is none of them, I'm marrying a problem, I'm marrying a big prison. The time that she's uncomfortable with you, she's gonna use everything. Oh, my husband, in her phone, there's pictures of girls. In his Facebook, it's just pictures of girls. Yet she knows that you don't even do anything with those. You are just really innocently doing your career. She will use those things against you when she wants to leave your relationship. Okay. So make sure you explore your partner's interests. It's just so sad that we don't have a lot of filmmakers, a lot of female filmmakers. For me, to be honest, my next marriage, I want to actually marry another filmmaker. I want us to, when we are having our own time, we can talk about cameras. You know, sometimes it gets lonely. Like your partner is completely disconnected from everything that you are doing. She doesn't even know what is a lens. Oh, a lens is that the round thing that you put. Sometimes you can forget a shoe mount and you are trying to explain to her, go in the room, in the shelf, you'll find something that have a corner like this, it's dark. Okay, take pictures and send them to me. Like, you know. So if you are a filmmaker and you are not dating and you really want to date somebody, look among female filmmakers. We don't have so many, you know. We don't have so many. I've been looking for an African female filmmakers. They're not there. So I'm just gonna, we'll see. We shall see. Mr. Rocky Foundation Music says, thank you. I read that comment. That's very true. It's much better to marry a woman who knows how expensive is this equipment. That part, that is the part that has grounded a lot of filmmakers. You know, there are so many things that I buy, guys. You feel pity. When you tell somebody that I bought these things 70,000, they'll be like, no ways. Say, that is the cheapest. You know, I was making a quotation for some cameras. A Red Cinema camera, the one that the 8K camera that I wanted to buy, guys. It cost 45,000 US dollar. Just the body alone, without nothing, without a battery, without just that box, 45,000 US dollar. And then you have to buy at least a cage where you're going to mount the monitor. You have to buy the monitor separately. The 7-inch monitor costs about 40,000 rands. Like, by the time you finish with that camera, 1.2 million rands, just a camera like this. Then come and tell your wife that, no, you know, that 1.2 million that I made, I bought this camera. Even though she knows this is what you use to make money, you're not going to have it easy because they don't understand. So make sure you get somebody, try to start making them to understand. You know, for me, I never really had so much problems in relationship parts because what I did is to look for someone who actually has a knowledge in the industry. So my partner was a supermodel. She had billboards here in Santon. She used to advertise, you know, so she had already an idea of what goes on in the industry. But, you know, there are some times where you just misunderstand each other because sometimes you are overdoing it. For me, when I do something, I do it to the max. It might look like maybe you are overdoing it, but I just don't like to do things in half-half, right? So that's a thing. All right, so in closing tomorrow I'm going to be live again, guys. So tomorrow we're going to be talking a real serious filmmaking stuff. I'm going to be talking a lot. Tomorrow we are going to be looking at some of the stuff that have been asked a lot. So it's better just go live and demonstrate to you live. So on YouTube here, let's see how many people are still connected. A lot of filmmakers are happy with this topic. That's very true. Join from your shorts. All right, guys, let's see what people are saying on Facebook. I have a Canon lens 17 to 85 millimeter and a 50 millimeter lens. Are they good for video production? They are good. Almost all of us at one point we used those lenses. I'm not so sure about the 17 to 85. What is the f-stop? What is the aperture for that lens? But when you're selecting lenses for videography, at least get lenses that have got a lower f-stop number, like f2.5, f2.8, f1.8, f1.4, f1.2. Those will always really give your video some sort of cinematic feel because they create nice background blur. So, but with a 50 millimeter, mostly I know that they are always fast lenses because they are prime lenses. And if you're wondering between a prime lens and a zoom lens, which one should you go for? If you are into videos specifically, prime lenses are the best, right? Prime lenses don't zoom. For some of you who are starter, if it's a 24 millimeter, it's a 24 millimeter. If it's a 35 millimeter, it doesn't zoom. So because it doesn't zoom, usually they are always fast. Like they always have like shallow depth of field, you know, very good in low light and stuff like that. So if you're a videographer, stick mostly to prime lenses. They'll give you really good video texture. And 17 to 85 millimeters is a very good lens. It's a very good focal length, you know, very wide at 17, 85, almost semi telephoto, especially for portrait shoots. But then it has to have like a lower f-stop number. Otherwise, if it's not really like fast, maybe it's f3.5, then your images, you're going to be forced to be cranking your ISO a little bit higher so that you can get a clean image, and that will introduce noise to your footage and stuff like that. But they are good lenses, Mr. Aubrey. Thank you so much for asking. Mike Major joining from Zambia. Thank you, Mr. Mike Major. Mr. Aaron says thank you. What camera would you advise for videography as a beginner? There isn't really like any specific camera that a beginner should get, but you have to look at the specs. And as a beginner, I'm sure you don't just take a gun and go, I'm going to war and stuff like that. You need to at least understand the nature of the war so that you can actually select a good gun, you know. So that's what also happens with cameras. So as a beginner, I can just give you specs, right? If you are beginning your videography now, in 2025, at least get a camera that can shoot HD at 60 frames per second. Right, if you are a complete beginner. And get a camera that has got good autofocus, because as a beginner, you don't understand much about focus. Get a camera that has got good low light performances, because as a beginner, you might not have all the necessary accessories that you might need. Get a camera that has got good color science. As a beginner, you might not know how to color grade your videos properly. So you get a camera that has got good color science, so that when you shoot your videos, they already look good straight out of the camera. As you learn more, then you can get to some specialized camera, like a camera with 10-bit color grading, shooting flat and stuff like that. So usually people, when they ask, so what are some of those cameras? Usually I tend to lean on Sony cameras, because they've got the best low light performance cameras. Their autofocus isn't really bad. It doesn't really fall far from the Canon cameras, but Canon cameras they do two things really good, especially for beginners. They have good color science. They have got good autofocus. So you get a camera like Canon 90D, Canon 80D, Canon 77D. Those are really cheap cameras. If you are beginning today, you can find those cameras like 77D. You can get that camera now maybe for $300 or $200 used, and you can start from there. All right, so just look out for those specs that I just mentioned, and you can go with any brand. There isn't any brand that is superior than others. Certain brands are known for certain stuff, like Canon. It might be known for good autofocus and color science. Sony might be known for its good low light performances and the larger sensors. Lumix might be known for its video packed features, you know. Fujifilm, it might be known for its color stocks and stuff like that. So each and every camera will have this small arrangement. But for me, as a beginner, I always recommend people get a Sony ZVE1, ZVE10. Get these two brands, Canon and Sony, really good ones for beginners. I used these cameras when I was beginning, but I used them for one year, and then I've never used Canon ever or Sony ever, because they are DSLR cameras and they tend to make videos look like really DSLR look. So for me, when I'm making a video, I want the texture of the video to, you know, to come out like it's a video. The texture of the video needs to show that someone is watching a video, not like something that was taken with a photo camera and stuff. So I haven't really been using DSLRs. The DSLR that I managed to stick to that has done a proper job for the longest period, it's the Lumix GH5. That camera, it was ahead of its time. Even today, that camera is still unbeatable, you know. So that is the closest you can get to, you know, the cheapest DSLR that can really do good videography. But it's a very poor camera when it comes to photography. That's another trade-off. So if you are specialized in photography and videography, look among Sony and Canon cameras with the specs that I've just told you. Watching from Malawi, northern part, thank you, Mr. Blacker. 265, thank you for joining. Mr. Ramos is saying, hey, big man, how are you doing? It's been long. Thank you, Mr. Ramos. I'm doing great. Mr. Ramos is watching from Zambia. And I can see Mr. Stembele. Ngobo. Hey, I did it. South African names are difficult to pronounce. Joining you from Katlehong, South Africa. What could be the reason for DSLR cameras not producing sound when using capture cards or Atel Mini, but camcorders are working smoothly when streaming live via OBS to Facebook? I think it has got to do with your sound connection. You know, I have done a video about live streaming, connecting cameras, in terms of how you connect your cameras to your live streaming, like the whole procedure. I've described what type of cameras you need to get and what types of cameras can actually really give you good sound, you know. So any camera that has got a microphone in jack, it can really be a good camera. Me, when I'm doing live streaming like this, I like to connect my sound straight to the camera. Even when I'm doing church live streaming, I like to connect the output from the mixer of the church straight into the main camera, and I make sure the main camera is powered, because if you connect sound directly to your capture card or to your computer directly, it's doable, but in most cases, you might have some lip syncing problems and stuff like that. So yeah, make sure you just check out my video, live streaming for church, on my YouTube channel. It's a 34 minutes video and I went through everything, different types of cameras, different types of capture cards, different types of computers, how you connect all of them and making sure that you have a proper sound and picture. Mr. Empathy is watching live from Malawi. Thank you. Mr. Jackson is watching straight from Nairobi. Thank you. Prophet is watching. Prophet Tatenda, big man of God. Thank you so much, Prophet, for joining. It's been long, sir. Make sure you call me tomorrow. You don't like me anymore because now your media is moving. I see you. Mr. Wheezy Sunshine says, thank you so much. Nothing to rush. There's nothing to rush for marriage, guys. If you are young, you are still hustling for your career. Some of us, we are old. Now we are in good shape to get married. We already know, we know what we are going to tell our wives when these things start. But you who is starting, you want to start first with a baggage of a wife, and then you have to convince that wife that actually what you are trying to do is not promiscuous. It's just really the career. Start having fights. You get old young. Things like the house, they don't make money for sure. No, those things. As a young kid, the only thing you are rushing for is to buy a house. You don't even know where you are going to settle. Those things, like a lot of things have changed. All the times, like you need to go to school, go to college. When you start working, make sure the first thing you do is to build a house because, housey. Those things are for a long time ago. Now, for me, if I have to advise my son today, son, don't worry about the house. If you can afford the rent, it's fine. Work on your skill. Work on your business. Work on the streams of income that brings money. Because for me, right now, if I want to buy a house, I'll just sell 2 cameras. I'll buy a house. I'll not stress of keeping $1. Hey, we need to buy iron sheet. Just building a 2-room like this, you are going through a stress of 2 years. Come on. Wait until things are okay. Once you work on your bag properly, you just go to Santon and say, I think I like that apartment. I want it. How much? It's 10 million. You look in your account, there's 2 million. Fine. I'll pay this as a deposit. In 2 months' time, I'll come and clear. That's how you do it. What is the best investment in videography? The best investment in videography is your skill. I know a lot of videographers who create amazing videos, but they don't have cameras. The only thing they have is a skill. I know of director Ken. I know of director White. He shot that video of Akon and Master KG. He went, what place was that? I don't know whether it's Mexico. He went to Mexico just by himself without any camera. He found cameras there. He hired cameras. He shot that big video. You see, so the biggest investment as a videographer, it's knowledge. It shocks me, guys, to see a videographer who's been shooting 2 years and they're asking me, so what is the best camera settings? Like, you get into a car and you ask, so what is the best gear that I should drive in? You adjust as you are moving. You adjust, you see, oh, okay, now the car is going steep hill. I need to change down to add power. Now that's how also a camera works. There isn't anything like these are the best settings. There is nothing like that. There is nothing. Because the best setting in this room, take this same setting and put it in another room. Waste settings. So as a videographer, the best investment is your skill. That's why I've created that course, which teaches you everything about videography, from filming, editing, color grading, music videos, real estate videos, wedding videos, live streaming, business in videography. A whole complete course is there, because I feel like that is what a person needs to start. If you start with the skills, then you will know what kind of camera to buy. A filmmaker comes to me and say, no, I want to buy the course, but first I need to buy a camera. So which camera should I buy? The main reason of the course is for you to understand the camera. You can go through the material. have some knowledge. I explain everything there. Camera sensor, camera iris, all those things explained. Things, 10 things that you need to look out for when you are buying a camera. They are there. That is what you need to start with. But you want to start with getting something you don't know. Like, really? All right, so the best investment, my king, Mr. Genesis, is the skill. If your skill is solid, next investment is good equipment. You know, I know videographers who make enough money, but they don't just like to buy good equipment. There was one videographer, may his soul rest in peace. That guy was working with celebrities. He's well-talented videographer. He has never had a camera. He'll get paid, boom, lots of money. You just go and drink, buy designers' shoes, buy everything. Then when he has a project, hey, Mr. Pedro, I'm shooting, can you borrow? Is your camera free? No, it's not free. Hey, snap, man, snap. So what am I gonna do now? Bruh, you've been filming. There's another videographer in Zimbabwe. Very talented guy, very talented. The guy doesn't even have a camera. What's up? What just happened now? Something is off. I think that's a sign that this live should be over. What's up? What happened? All right, guys, so we spoke a lot. If you have any questions, you know where to do. You know what to do. You can reach me out on all my social medias. There's always my number there, my website, and everything is there on my bio. Whether you are on TikTok, you are looking for my number, you'll find it on my bio. If you are on YouTube, you are looking for the website where I'm doing the courses, you'll find all those things in the bio. So you can always reach me out. You can always reach out to me for any videography related stuff. Otherwise, those are some of the stuff that you need to be worried about, especially if you have a partner. Your partner can be a really big drag, especially when it comes to filmmaking. They'll drag you down, and most filmmakers, their careers are not going up because of their partners. Their partners, they know that they don't understand the industry of their husband, but at the same time, they don't even want to learn it. Like, what is that? Once again, good health to you. Last time I wanted to ask you a question, but it didn't hold. Please, how do I proceed to installing Adobe Premiere Pro and its all accessories? I once did a live stream where I was formatting a computer from the scratch and installing all the drivers, installing all the softwares, and installing all the plugins. But I think I'm gonna do the video specifically for you, and I'm gonna post it on YouTube sometime this week, because there's a lot of process, there's a lot of stuff. I think it's not going to be really helpful if I have to explain it by the way of mouth like this, because for me, when I teach, I like practical, you know. If I'm teaching about editing, you see exactly what I'm editing and all the adjustments, so that you just copy and try to redo the same exact stuff so that you reach the same exact. That's how I teach even in my courses. They are all practical in nature. So I'm going to create a tutorial for you, Mr. Felicite. Otherwise, nice. TV video director, salute my papa Pedro. You look good today. Soldier, hi papa. Salute. Thank you so much. For sure, is investing in your skill. Right, so let's go to Facebook and see what's going on there. You know, Facebook has got a way of trying to hack my account. Every time I'm on Facebook, I usually have a problem. Last time when I was on Facebook, tried to hack my account again. I'm like, what? All right, let's see some questions in ending, guys. Oh, I've been saying I'll be ending soon, but I don't end. Okay, let me switch to the next computer here. This topic is fire. Yes, get a partner who understands the industry. Love from Burundi. Proud of you, my mentor. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. I'm humbled. Mr. Fidel says, thank God my partner, she understands my career as videographer. That's the only way for you to succeed. Mr. Elton says, your next marriage. Mr. Isaac says, this topic, Mr. Isaac is like, yeah, guys, I didn't even talk a lot, you know, I don't want to offend my people. Yes, get a partner who understands the industry that you are in. That is Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, I can't wait to be with you in Zambia. I don't know when Komboka is happening in March. We are going to be filming Komboka. We're going to cover Komboka live. I'm going to partner with BTN TV, with some of the OG videographers in Mongu, Zambia. We're going to cover the whole Komboka ceremony from Rialui to Limulunga. I don't know how it's going to happen this time around, but we are going to cover all of it live the whole day. So I've been preparing for that. So the moment I come back from Nigeria, that will be our next destination. So I can't wait to meet with you, Mr. Jones. This Mr. Jones, he is my mentor, Mr. Jones. There's Mr. Jones in this comment section. He is my mentor. We started doing videography. He started doing videography before me. So one day my father bought a computer and he wanted an editor, and then he called Mr. Jones, and then I had so much interest in these things of editing. So Mr. Jones came, he opened Adobe Premiere Pro version 2. I remember that's where I started editing, and then he started to edit a video, and I was there just, you know, looking at what he was doing, and it got me inspired a lot, and I decided to pursue, you know. So I really can't wait to join him as a wonderful filmmaker in Barosland, Mungu, Western Province, Zambia. Mr. Ramos says, your next marriage, guys, it's a slip of the tongue. Live from Malawi, this is Mr. Augustine. Thank you, Mr. You are not married. I'm not married anymore, guys. Not married anymore. Thank you, sir, for teaching us today how to balance our industry with family. This is Mr. Blessings. Thank you. You're welcome. Mr. John says, congratulations. Greetings from Zambia. You don't mix business with pleasure. Beautiful insight. That one, pleasure comes last. Nice insights, brother. Thank you. Sir, please, I'm a media director in my church, and I want to know what video switcher and laptop desktop, tell me the best among the two. Oh, okay. What video switcher and laptop or desktop, tell me the best among the two I can get within a budget of 500K. So I don't know if this 500K is Zimbabwean dollar or Malawi kwacha or Nigerian naira or Ghanaian cedi or shilling from Tanzania or kwanza from Angola. By the way, I've lived in all these countries, so I know all these things. So I don't know the 500K. Can you just try to put it in dollars? If you are going to get a computer for live streaming for church, even though I love to use laptops myself because they are mobile, for church I always really advise to get a desktop, because that laptop, one of the members is going to take it home one day and it's not going to come back the same. So it's better you get a desktop. If you are a church leader, if you are in media for the church, make sure if you are buying equipment for the church, get things like a desktop, get things that cannot move easily, because one day one of the editors for your church program will say, "I know I'll edit this video at home." Boom, the laptop in the bag. Before you know it, it has been stolen. The whole church media is down. So when it comes to the specs, I think it's very safe to get a computer that has got 4 GB graphics card. That is the minimum. 16 GB RAM, at least 2.4 gigahertz of a processor with at least 8 cores and 12 threads. I think that computer will crash any sort of work. And then when it comes to the capture card, for me, I use a capture card, we call it Atom X Cast. It's a Atomos Ninja, the famous Atomos Ninja screen. It has got an Atomos X Cast adapter that you put on it, and then you have 4 input. But if you are looking for a startup really capture card that is nice, you will not go wrong with Atom Mini Pro. that is the cheapest and to give you the best live streaming experience. All right. There's a lot of comments now. I don't know if I should read these comments online now or I should cut this live. I will get the desktop. Thank you so much, Master. Love you from Kenya. Love you from Burundi. Proud of you, my mentor. Thank you. Where are we with these comments? Mr. Jones, I answered. Thank you so much for this teaching. So please, as a media, I've answered this question. How do I get rid of noise on my Lumix GH5? I'm using it with a 25mm f1.7 and mostly I shoot with 400 ISO with my base ISO. I think you did everything right. The 25mm f1.7 is a really good lens for the Lumix GH5, and then the native base ISO for the Lumix GH5 400, which is good, but then because the sensor is small, still gonna have some noise here and there, especially if your lighting is not up to par. But then I use a plugin called Neat Video. That plugin works like magic. It makes the video smooth as butter. It's the easiest way, though it's a little bit heavy. You need to get like a computer needs to have at least a good graphics card. Then you're not gonna have a problem. But the plugin, Neat Video. I think if you go to my Facebook page, there's a post where I pinned Colorista, I pinned Neat Video, I pinned Film Convert Nitrate. The links are there. You can download these things for free because I love you, my fellow filmmakers. I'm following the program. Thank you very much. All the way from Zambia. This is Mr. Blessed Mwemba. Thank you, Mr. Mwemba. How we solve the issues of church media and how solve the issues when you left. All right, so for me, God gave me a gift of when I do something, I really want to do it good. So with the issues of church media, if I'm doing church media, if you ask anybody who comes from ECG church, they'll tell you that at some point in our channel, there was a guy called Pedro. Do you know, I used to sleep in the office 3 weeks, yet I have a nice house. 3 weeks in the office just so that I can do really good job. Those people, they'll never forget me. That channel will never forget me. Until today, some of the programs that plays on that channel, I'm the one who created them. So when it came to church media, I was so damn seriously, and that is how I really do it. But when I transitioned from church media to start doing secular videos for everybody and stuff like that, the challenge was, oh, this guy has been working in the church, he's doing this pastoral. And for some reason, that's why I usually post a lot of clients that whether they are not dressed properly, as long as they can go to the beach, I'll post. Because for some reason, people are like, no, we can't give Pedro this kind of a project because that guy is not used to working with this kind of stuff that we want to do. He's good, but he's not used. So sometimes I'll just post so that people can know that I actually deal with these things on a daily basis, you know. So that was just the challenge when I left church. But I didn't have a lot of challenge because the skill spoke for itself. The hard work did its magic. God's blessing did the rest. Watching from Zim, Mr. Elton. Thank you, Mr. Elton. Watching from Nigeria, Mr. Adu. Thank you, Mr. Adu. All right. Okay, cool. This live has become unnecessarily long. And Mr. Fidel has linked there. I really want to learn. I just finished high school. So far, I was able to buy a point and shoot camera. Canon is it's a good that you have something to look at, but the first thing that you really need to start with is the skill. If you manage to buy that camera, I'm sure you can manage to get the whole course. Then I'll mentor you straight, step by step. And everybody who has bought my course, they'll testify to you that if you have any challenge, you just text me, I'll answer. I might answer maybe, if I'm busy that day, I might answer tomorrow. But with filmmakers, I answer almost all the time because my vision is to see a lot of filmmakers coming from Africa. We have so many stories, different cultures, and we can't wait for Americans to come and create those stories on our behalf. They don't even create them better the way that us would have been created it. So it's more, it's a passion project that I've put it upon myself to say, even if I teach at least 10 filmmakers who are going to do certain works, it will make me feel good because I want to see African content. We have African stories, different cultures, lifestyle. You know, these things of Dubai and stuff, it's not really my taste. But if you go to the village, that's where there's real life. That's where there's real fun. That's where there's real peace. You know, capture those things in high quality and show to the world how we have managed to do our life, you know. So I do a great job at really making sure that if you subscribe to my course, I stay with you until I know you can walk on your own. So the camera that you have bought, not bad about it. In fact, there are so many people ask me, you can actually even use your phone to start really like creating videos and going through the course just to see how things are looking based on the knowledge that you are getting. Yeah, but getting the course first is really advisable. Just because you have a camera, it doesn't mean you can shoot. Love you from Burundi. All right, guys, so thank you so much. What do you think? A DJI Air 3 RC is a very good drone. I used it a lot in Zimbabwe, actually. It's a very good drone, very good quality. You know, the thing with drones, the only difference when it comes to drones a lot, especially with these prosumer drones, it is just the features, maybe latest features and stuff, but when it comes to quality, usually it's the same. That's why I don't really like shooting, especially for me, because I'm using cinema cameras, you know. There's a certain look, so now I have to get like a cinema drone. So I already ordered Inspire 2. It's an old drone, but I'm sure it's gonna do some job. But if you have a drone like a DJI Air 3 RC3, it's doing a great job to shoot really good videos. All right. I'll be happy to be in essay to achieve more about photography. You are welcome. Which PC can I use to run DaVinci, Mr. Zona? Mr. Zona, it's man, Mr. Dexy. I'm sure he's coming from Zambia. I think you just need to look at the specs. DaVinci is always a little bit hardware intensive. You need to really get like a slightly good computer. Not an overkill, but at least a computer that has got a RAM of 16 GB and top with a good processor of like 2.5 upward gigs with at least 8 cores. It will do. It will install DaVinci without any problem. All right, so sure, my brother, I want to know more about photography. Not a problem. I also want to learn videography. What is the procedure? This is Mimi Bota. The procedure is very easy. This is TikTok. The procedure is very easy. I have my number on I have my number on the bio there. You can just text me. I'll send you the link to the site and I'll guide you through, even if it means guiding you through all the night. It doesn't matter. I'll guide you through until you can enroll and start learning. I forgot again what to look for on screen to buy. Oh man, these comments are coming. I forgot again what to look on a screen to buy. Oh, I forgot again what to look on a screen. I can buy. The English is Englishing me now. I don't know whether it's the commenter or it's the reader. Both of us are a problem. Okay, just looking at this comment, I can see maybe he's looking for a good screen to use. I think I use these office screens. There isn't really anything there isn't anything special about them. For me, whenever I edit, mostly, especially when it comes to colors, I cannot afford a color grading monitor. They are very expensive. So I rely on Lumetri scopes to color grade my videos and stuff. So you can really just get just any desktop monitor that is big enough for you to work comfortably, you know, unless you have budget and you really are specific in the things that you want to edit. Maybe you want higher frame refresh rates and stuff like that. But with a screen, I think you can just get, for me, I use 27-inch. I think it's a sweet spot. I don't really like bigger screens. So there's a lot of cheaper screens. Okay, which brand of lights do you prefer using? Oh my God, lighting is a very big question when it comes to lighting. So if I start talk about lighting now, this live is not gonna end. But all that I want you to know is there's two things that you need to learn about lighting. There's light quantity and light quality. You know, most of the cheap Chinese lights that are coming through these days, they have a lot of light quality, quantity. Like they are bright, you can change colors, but the quality of that light really horrible on skin tones and stuff. So for me, if you see the backlight, in fact, I did a studio tour about everything that I'm using in this studio. So I've included the lights that I'm using there. You know, I like Dracast lighting. These are the lights that are lighting my backlight and stuff. And here I have a highlighting lamp, 300 watts. You can just check my video, everything is there. Just check on my YouTube channel, Studio Tour, San Pedro Official. Hi, Director San Pedro. I really do follow up your works via YouTube. You are doing a great work. Thank you so much. I am a content creator from South Africa. Sure, my brother, I want to know more about photography. I'm a content creator. You can text me, get my number from the bio and text me. Oh my God, today we had so many people that tuned in on TikTok. Amazing. Mimi Bota, I have read already. Thank you. Just WhatsApp the number. Which brand of this one? I read it. Okay, guys, I'm looking for your questions now. Like, I'm looking for your questions. My guy, are you from Zim or Malawi? I'm from Angola. I grew up in Zambia, but now I live in SA. Thank you so much. I am an African. Ooh, I am so tired. I am a music director based in Uganda, Kampala. Oh, nice. Uganda, Kampala. Nice to join Mr. AHD Giants. Nice. All right, guys, thank you so much. I've gone through a lot. If you care a lot about what we need to discuss about tomorrow, just leave in the comment section. I usually take 1 hour to go through the comments that I didn't answer and try to answer all of